should be illegal. Activision has the ability to listen in on players and use that data to create AI models to mimic players.
Stop! Don't kill me!
Yeah, so whenever you're talking in a COD game or anything else, the company might be using that voice data to create AI models to make NPC voices. It is not confirmed if this is being used yet. It is a patent that has been filed, but it's likely going to be used. Why wouldn't it be? Now, obviously, I don't think they should be able to do this. This is a crazy breach of privacy, assuming they're going to actually do it. And you might say, well, they can't do it without you agreeing. And yeah, maybe. But they're probably just gonna bury it in the TOS that nobody reads. The fact that we can even still use a terms of agreement that's like 900 pages long is insane. Companies just shouldn't be allowed to use it because literally everyone agrees. No one reads it at all. It is entirely unreasonable to assume a customer has the time and resources to read a 900-page document or something. And not only that, it's in legal jargon. It's not even in plain text. It's also a little crazy to think that like 10 years ago, this would have been unthinkable. Like a company doing something so extreme and invasive is just unthinkable, or at least it used to be. But now they do it without a care in the world, and it's kind of terrible. And this not only affects you as a player, this also affects voice actors. And in this article, they talk about layoffs that are happened because of AI. They said 1,900. And that's also a little misleading because a lot of these companies are using AI as an excuse to lay people off. It's not actually because of AI. It's mainly just a lot of contractors in third world countries that don't get paid nearly as much. It's depressing, but that's how it is. The animation industry has been doing that forever at this point. Most of your favorite animes are probably animated by somebody who's getting paid like, you know, $1 per frame or something stupid. It is criminal how low these people are paid for their work. I've also seen a lot of people defend AI in a really weird way. Like, don't get me wrong, there's uses for AI, okay? Machine learning, because that's what this is, has a purpose and use case. But generative AI with voice cloning and AI art is not like a person learning how to voice act or draw art, okay? Generative AI models take millions of images to make a single picture. That is not a human level task, okay? It's not at the same level. I've seen a lot of people say, well, it's like a person when they learn how to draw. They use references and they trace things to learn how to draw things. And it's just not the same thing. Also, I'm aware tracing work and publishing it as your own is bad, but tracing to learn is a good thing. If you disagree, I'm sorry, you're wrong. Any actual artist would tell you tracing to learn how to draw is probably pretty good for you. But an AI doesn't do that. You give it millions of images and it produces images based off those images. A lot of the time, you can just see what it's ripped from. Because if you give it like a specific person, for example, the original image looks identical to the actual AI one. It's pretty clearly just taking things and ripping them. I've just seen the argument floated around that it's like a person learning something way too often. It's not. This thing is not conscious. You're assigning it human attributes. It's a machine. It is a piece of software designed to steal data and make it into something slightly different. That's it. Like, could you name a single writer on Earth who's written every single piece of text to ever exist to write a book? Can you name a single one? Because that's what ChatGPT did. It basically read everything on the internet that could actually access, and I don't think a person would ever do that. So yeah, it's a little bit more akin to plagiarism than anything else. Now, if we get to a point where AI is actually AI, like, you know, an artificial intelligence that's actually, you know, smart and conscious, then we can talk about it not being plagiarism. Because it would probably take in data a similar way of, like, just downloading images, but the difference would be it actually thinks it is conscious. But we're not there yet. I don't know when we'll be there. I would guess, but honestly, at this point, it just seems like a waste of time to guess. And if we do, or once we are there, it's gonna be a lot bigger than just art, okay? That is a world-changing event. But until then, this stuff is not making anything new. It is more akin to stealing than making something new. It is not a living, thinking machine. It is a piece of software that rips data and then alters it. That's all it's doing. Also, please like and subscribe down below. I'm trying to hit 400K. Thank you. I appreciate it. And as someone who plays games, I really don't want my voice chat recorded for like personal reasons and the fact that I don't want my data being used to create an AI voice, okay? I don't want to be a part of COD's NPCs. And I don't think you do either. But also, if I'm tilting in game, okay, I don't want that recorded. It's not my proudest moment. I'm not happy I got angry. I'm just angry and I need to vent a little bit, okay? I also don't like this because they're trying to create realistic reactions we assume based off the patent, which kind of gives me an indication that they're trying to make bot players that people just assume are real players, and I already don't like playing against bot players. Like, since I never played Fortnite, whenever I load into the game, it puts me in bot lobbies. Or I'm with mobile players that are actually just inept. But like, I do way too good in those games for it to be like real players. Because if I got put in an actual Fortnite lobby, I'd get stomped on. I'm not good at Fortnite anymore. I don't play Fortnite anymore. So whenever I do play it, I expect to be terrible. And the fact that I don't do terrible means that they're bots. That's the only explanation. Or they're toddlers on their iPhone. That's it. But I don't like the idea of getting into a game and being played against bots that are trying to act real. I don't like that at all. Like, at that point, online gaming is a lot like the dead internet theory, where it's a bunch of bots acting like there's something happening. Especially in competitive games, I don't want bots. I want to play against other players. It's competitive. A bot is going to be whatever difficulty they set the bot to. There's no growing your skill level in that. There's no getting better. And there's no opponent on the other end of the screen who's getting angry that I'm killing them in game. That is a very integral part to the competitive experience. And the part that sucks about this right now is that, like, this technology could have easily already been implemented, because right now there's a strike going on for voice actors because of AI related things. Basically, voice actors can't come to an agreement with these companies, and now they're striking. And I really hope that the strike works, because if it doesn't work, that's gonna be really depressing. But voice actors from Activision, EA, Epic Games, Take-Two Interactive, Disney, and Warner Brothers are all striking, which I think is good. I hope they get what they want, because I think it's pretty ridiculous that companies could just take someone's voice and use it repeatedly with, like, no repercussions. Like, that's insane to me. Like, there should be a law that does not let that happen. Like, you can make some argument that it's not theft because you're not actually stealing their voice or something stupid, but I don't know, man. If I had my voice taken, like from me entirely, and just used over and over again, and I can't get a job because they stole it, yeah, that seems like they stole my voice. And that just seems so dystopian. I think your voice is a pretty integral part of like, who you are, especially if you are a voice actor. I'm sure they take pride in their voice because they're voice actors. So having it taken and, like, used like a resurrected corpse is pretty depressing. It's also why I'm against, like, you know, like AI Michael Jackson or something. I'm just not a fan of resurrecting the dead like that. It feels wrong. Maybe my tune will change on it at some point, but I don't think it will. And they're already barely paying voice actors. Like, they're actually just being ridiculously greedy. Voice actors already are not paid well at all. And in the article talking about the strike, $500,000 of the development cost is voice actors out of 80 million. They could afford to pay a little more. Let me remind you where these companies sit in the S&P 500. They could afford it. They're just being greedy and stingy. That is literally it. And it's funny too, because all these companies are trying to lay everyone off to hire AI, and they don't think about the fact that, like, hey, if everyone hires AI, who's gonna buy your products? Obviously, we're kind of far from everyone not having a job, at least, like, in the near future, kind of far. Who knows at this point with AI? It really just depends on how much other industries develop as well. And obviously, I know AI is just machine learning. To be clear, it's not some big boogeyman thing. It's machine learning tech. But still, all these companies are firing everybody constantly, or laying them off, technically, trying to inch out every bit of profit they possibly can. And they don't stop to consider the fact that, hey, if you fire everyone, who's gonna buy it? Who's gonna buy the stuff you're making with the AI slap? Who's gonna buy it? It's just pretty frustrating. All these companies are so blatantly greedy and stingy over their money, when we historically know that the wealthier everybody is, the better off everybody is. I just don't get it. And as I've said before on this channel, I am okay with machine learning tech that eliminates really tedious things from the work process. As somebody who makes art, I guess you could say, because I've drawn before, I'm not good at it, but I've drawn before, there are parts of this work that is just tedious that no one wants to do. Like, every artist agrees that certain things are really annoying, and every editor agrees that certain things are really annoying. The example I always go to is subtitles, which I'm so glad have AI assistants now, because subtitles are one of those things you never want to do. Like, as I'm recording right now, these words are being said. I'm saying these words. I know what I said. The last thing I want to do is type all of them. And a good example for animation is a lot of the cell shading in the Spider-Verse. That is just really tedious stuff that no one really wants to do. And in regards to Into the Spider-Verse, they had to make the data themselves to train it. They didn't steal the data. It was machine learning. So they had to do some of the work to make it happen. It didn't just do it automatically. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Like and subscribe. New follow me on Twitter @spatnz1, and click the intro down, check out more of my content, and have a good one.